After finishing up with the aftermath of the events at the Pokemon Tower, Red returned to Mr. Fuji's house and told him everything that had happened. Fuji asked him more about the Cubone baby, and Red told him as far as he knows, the shipment containing the Pokemon will arrive at Celadon City. There is a hideout under the casino, so that's where he will head off to next. Before he leaves, Mr. Fuji gives him a weird looking Pokeball with the initials GS on it. He tells Red that he should hold on to this ball. Red asks him what this ball does, and Fuji replies by saying that he doesn't know about it himself. He found this Pokeball on Birth Island, where they gathered the samples of Mew. There was a message attached to the Pokeball which said, "May the power be bestowed upon the worthy one." Fuji went on to say, "I hid this Pokeball from Giovanni and planned to use it as a backup option in case the initial experiment to revive Amber failed. I guess I missed out on being the worthy part." He tells Red that he's sure this will come in handy for him. With this strange Pokeball in his arsenal, Red departs for Celadon. After reaching Celadon, he visits the Team Rocket hideout under the casino, where the grunt guarding the elevator asks him if he's okay, as he heard Red's group was attacked by Shadow, and Red just shrugs off by saying that it was just some minor injuries, nothing he couldn't heal from. This worries him, however, considering how much his Shadow persona's influence is growing inside Team Rocket. After reaching the basement floor, his heart sank at what he saw. Loads of ground-type Pokemon were being injected with what appeared to be tranquilizers and steroids. Red went on ahead to Giovanni's chambers, where the boss was enjoying a rather peaceful supper. "Welcome, Red. I assume you're here for your next mission. Well, you see, I have something big planned for you in the Safari Zone, but that's still a few weeks away. So in the meantime, I will be leaving you in charge of guarding this hideout while I visit the old region for special business." Red's disappointment was replaced by joy. This made his job so easier. If he was going to be in charge of the hideout, he could just release the Pokemon that were yet to be tranquilized and blame it on Shadow. This would mean that he would have to lay low for a while, but it was worth it. Giovanni then asked Red about his Pokemon, and Red sent out Coughing and Ekans. The Rocket Boss commented on how the Pokemon were above average level, but still weaker than the Pokemon assigned to other Foundation members. Red nervously tries to apologize, but Giovanni tells him to not sweat it. It was most probably because Red didn't receive the supplements. A grunt walked in with jars containing tablets labeled protein, zinc, calcium, carbos, and iron. Giovanni tells Red to feed it to his Ekans and Coughing. Red was against this from every single fiber of his nerve. But what could he do now? Giovanni was right in front of him. Reluctantly, he fed the tablets to his Pokemon, and the results were astounding. Ekans' scale became more refined and thicker. Coughing was emitting way more smoke than usual, and it looked as if they received 2 weeks worth of training in an instant. Giovanni tells him that while he's here, he should use the training facilities to try and evolve them. He also gives Red another Pokeball. Red releases the Pokemon inside, and it's a Magmar, who stares Red down as if analyzing its new owner. Giovanni then leaves before saying that Hugh will be here to back Red up, just in case the Shadow fellow decides to show up again. This was not a news Red was hoping for. Hugh was stronger than him. It was clearly evident from his last battle. Although any one of Red's Pokemon would beat Hugh's in a one-on-one single battle, Hugh always sent out multiple Pokemon at once, and the synergy and the teamwork was leagues above that of Red's Pokemon. After a few minutes, Hugh arrived at the hideout and started to prepare the CCTV cameras and assign guard duties to the grunts. The elevator was to be shut down completely, and the staircases were to be guarded by a team of 2, with rotations happening every hour. Hugh tells Red to focus on his training before isolating himself in the security room. Red enters the training room, and first and foremost, he uses his mask to infiltrate the camera there to redirect any footage recorded, so that Hugh won't be able to monitor him. He sent out all of his Pokemon at once, and to his shock, Ekans and Coughing were about the same level as his personal Pokemon. Magmar was actually a tad bit above Sneasel itself. The supplements were definitely something else. Electabuzz immediately confronted Magmar and tried to challenge it for a battle. Red scanned the Magmar further and noticed that it's a female. The Magmar was more than happy to oblige the electric Pokemon's wish to battle, and before Red could intervene, a Thunderbolt and Flamethrower collided, which resulted in Electabuzz being sent flying into a wall. Before he could regroup, the Magmar used a Psychic attack to slam him around, finishing the battle effectively. Red was shocked to see the power on display, but regardless, they trained for the next 2 days, and he particularly focused on Ekans and Koffing, trying to get them to evolve, but to no success. Scyther, Weepinbell and Sneasel, all three benefited a lot from training with Magmar, partially because Magmar was just at such a high level, and also this gave them the valuable experience of fighting against a Pokemon with a type advantage over theirs. Magmar was quite chill and willing to help the others train, and this was complete opposite of Electabuzz. Speaking of whom, the Electric Tiger spent most of the time training its new moves under Red and constantly challenging the Magmar, but every single time he did, he got his ass handed to him. On the third night of the guard duty, Red decided to take a break from the training and join Hugh in the security room. As they both treated themselves to a cup of tea, Hugh said that after this mission, he would be returning to Unova. They both then talked about their days in the Foundation and how both of them were really reserved and introverted. Hugh then asked Red why he joined the Foundation, and Red told him everything that had happened, saying that this was his only way of achieving his dream to become the strongest trainer. Obviously, he omitted the shadow details. Red then stays silent, as if waiting for Hugh to state his reason, and Hugh picks this hint up and says that he wants to get revenge on Team Plasma, who took away one of his beloved Pokemon. Both of them stayed silent, as if reflecting on the stories they heard just now. Red then asks Hugh if he thinks that joining Team Rocket would be a redeeming quality, even if it is for revenge, and Hugh tells him that he's way past thinking about that right now. He has already made his decisions, and in life you make a choice and you don't look back. A siren then erupts, startling both of them, but before either of them could react, the lights go off. Hugh and Red switched on their flashlights and scouted the floor they were in, trying to see what just happened. Hugh signals for Red to split up. As he's walking around, he notices a pink gluish thing on the ground. He leans in to check on it, and the thing reveals itself to be a Ditto, which immediately turns into Red himself and kicks him straight in the face, tumbling him backwards. He manages to overpower the imposter Pokemon, but it reverts back to his original form before escaping his grasp quickly. "Miss me?" a female voice spoke up behind Red as he turned around to see someone wearing an outfit similar to his own shadow outfit. At first he couldn't quite figure out who it was, but then it dawned upon him. It was Leaf, the girl who stole the Squirtle from Professor Oak's lab. Red asks her how did she find out about him, and she replies by saying it's simple. When they first met, Red told her about how she ruined his career as a Pokemon trainer. All she had to do was find out who was accused in her place, and this all added up. Red cursed at himself for that emotional tirade he threw at Nugget Bridge. Red asks her what she wants from him, and she replies by saying she needs his help to free the Pokemon that had captured her. Before Red could answer, Hugh showed up out of nowhere. He mistook Leaf for Shadow, but before he could send out his Pokemon, he was blasted into the wall from a Hydro Pump attack from Leaf's Water Turtle, which knocked him out cold. "Fine, but after this is done, you have to leave me alone and stay out of my way." Red and Leaf then go on to release every Pokemon that was captured except for those who were tranquilized, because releasing them would have caused even more havoc, and alerted the local authorities. Before she left, Red gave her the Cubone that was orphaned and told her to escort it to the Pokemon house in Lavender Town. She agrees to his request, and Red asks her why she wanted to save this Pokemon, and she replies by saying the same reason Red did his work as Shadow. After waking Hugh up, Red tells him it was Shadow who attacked the base, and he managed to chase him away, but a large number of Pokemon were freed. Hugh sighs, telling him at least the strong ones were still here, before leaving to report it to the boss, who definitely won't be happy to hear this. Speaking of Giovanni, he could not be contacted because he was mid-flight, so this gave Red some ample time to come up with a good excuse as to why both him and Hugh were unable to stop this shadow character yet again. However, after reporting this to Giovanni a few days later, and surprisingly Giovanni wasn't angry. He tells them that it was not their fault, as Shadow attacked them while they were completely unprepared. But one thing is for sure, whoever this Shadow guy is, he seems to be knowing a lot about them. Maybe he is a mole inside Team Rocket, spying on them and feeding them information. At the mention of the word mole and feeding information, Red almost started to sweat. He thought that Giovanni was definitely up to his plan and was playing with him right now. But Giovanni tells Red that he should stay at the base and train his Pokemon up some more, because the next mission in the Safari Zone will be a difficult one, and at that time there will be no excuses, because he will personally be alongside Red to make sure that the mission goes as planned. With this, Hugh bids his farewell to Red and departs for Unova. Now that the whole rescue the Pokemon mission was behind him, Red was free to go on and challenge the Celadon City gym and the gym leader Erika. After a day of resting or two, Red made his way into the gym, of course in his shadow outfit, and to his surprise Erika was there waiting for him. Red asked if she knew about his arrival, and Erika told him that she heard in the news that there was a raid in the Team Rocket hideout, so it was only natural that Red was lurking around. Red then eyed her suspiciously and asked her, "Are you a member of Team Rocket too, like Lieutenant Surge was?" And Erika replies by saying that no. She lives a much simpler lifestyle. All she cares about is having a few fun Pokemon battles and her flower shop. That's all she needs. Red nods and asks her if she is ready for the battle, and Erika tells she is. So the battle begins, as Red sends out his Weeping Bell and Erika sends out her own. This is a closely fought battle, as both Pokemon are really very well trained, but in different areas. For example, Red's Weeping Bell is much more suited for close combat and is just naturally tougher and has much better battle instincts. On the other hand, Erika's Weeping Bell has the experience on her side, and plus it's more adept in using the grass moves and the poison type moves. So when you think about it, Erika's Weeping Bell is a better conventional fighter, whereas Red's Weeping Bell is the tougher one. This battle goes on for a while, and although Erika's Weeping Bell has the advantage in special attacks, Red's Weeping Bell has the advantage in physical attacks. Eventually it comes down to Red's Weeping Bell using a powerful sludge bomb on its foe to knock it out for good. The second Pokemon that Erika sends out is her Gloom, and Weeping Bell is extremely tired after battling the first battle, which was extremely close. So it does not take Gloom much longer of a time to take care of Weeping Bell and defeat it using an acid attack. Red recalls Weeping Bell and congratulates it on a great fought battle. There were definitely some improvements from the training that he noticed. For his second Pokemon, Red sends out his Scyther, and although on paper this looks an extremely easy fight for Scyther, the samurai has his work cut out for him. Gloom is extremely defensive, and whenever Scyther tries to get in close to attack her, she always uses a stun spore or a sleep powder, which causes Scyther to retreat and think of the attack again. However, due to the surrounding forest type area in the gym, Scyther is able to hide its movement pretty well and execute a lot of sneak attacks on Gloom. Although Gloom is extremely defensive, her defenses won't last long, and eventually a multiple Fury Cutter attacks for Scyther, each one growing stronger than the other, manages to take Gloom out. The final Pokemon that Erika sends out is her Vileplume, and this is basically a battle against a much more stronger Gloom. Once again, Red tries to use the forest to hide and launch sneak attacks on Vileplume, but unlike Gloom, Vileplume has more firepower and she uses it to great effect. Whenever Scyther tries to retreat in one of the forests, Vileplume uses a Petal Blizzard attack to flush it out. This attack is not going to do much damage on the bug and flying type, but it is enough to cloud Scyther's view, and using this as a feint, Vileplume is able to connect with a powerful sludge bomb on Scyther. This sequence goes on for a while as Scyther tries some more sneaky attacks, using its speed as an advantage, but Vileplume is just too bulky and too powerful for Scyther to take down. Eventually, another powerful sludge bomb takes Scyther out, bringing Red down to his last Pokemon. This is of course his Sneasel. Sneasel knows better than to follow Scyther's blueprint of just using speed, as Scyther tried it and it was faster than Sneasel, but it did not work out. So Sneasel knows that he has to fight Vileplume in a head-to-head combat, and this is where it uses every ounce of its battle instincts that it had developed while training at the Foundation. It is able to dodge Sleep Powder and Stun Spore pretty nicely, and constantly use aerial as attack to disrupt Valpium. This battle goes on for a while. Unlike Scyther, Sneasel has Icy Wind up its sleeve, which it uses to counter the Petal Blizzard attack. This forces Valpium to battle Sneasel head on, and at times abandon its defense, and whenever Valpium goes for attack, that's when she leaves herself vulnerable, and this is the chance where Sneasel used to counter Valpium's attack with its own. Ice Shard is an extremely important weapon for Sneasel, as it constantly hits Valpium, disrupting any momentum it tries to build upon. And eventually the battle ends after Sneasel connects with a powerful Icicle Crash, which Valpium is unable to dodge due to being extremely fatigued after battling 2 Pokemon back to back. So the battle ends and Erika goes ahead to award Red with the Rainbow Badge. But then Red notices something weird happening with Sneasel. It falls to its knees and clutches its head, screaming in agony. Red checks on it to see what is going on. As Erika tries to help him, she orders one of her grass type Pokemon to use aromatherapy on Sneasel. But even this does not work. Erika asks Red what is happening to Sneasel, and Red tells him that he does not know. But then something dawned upon him. He remembered what had happened with the mysterious Pokemon at the Foundation, and just when this thought crossed his mind, Sneasel erupted in a dark aura. As its appearance changed into the more demonic form that Red knew quite well. Instantly Sneasel started going on a rampage, attacking everyone and everything in sight. Red tells Erika to take her Pokemon and get out. He will handle it himself. He sends out his remaining Pokemon, Dugtrio, Magmar, Electabuzz, Ekans and Koffing. All of them try to hold Sneasel off. Electabuzz, who is usually the one egging for a battle against Sneasel and other Pokemon, is hesitant to battle Sneasel because of the demonic appearance that it has taken on and the sheer amount of power that is on display. Magmar is the one that has the best showing in this fight. She uses her flamethrower attack to counter Sneasel's moves, but this is when Red realizes that something is off about Sneasel's attack also. His Ice Shard is not a regular Ice Shard. For some reason it's coated in that shadowy aura, and Magmar's attack don't seem to have any effect on him, and Sneasel is tanking them pretty effectively. Despite Magmar putting up a valiant effort, she's taken out by Sneasel. Electabuzz once again tries to hit it with a Thunderbolt, trying to paralyze it, but this also does not work, as Sneasel just swipes him away with a powerful Night Slash attack. Sneasel then turns his attention towards Dugtrio. Dugtrio tries to use a dig attack to sneak up behind Sneasel, but Sneasel notices this from a mile away and counters Dugtrio with a powerful Ice Shard attack, which takes it out. Now Sneasel turns his sight towards Red. It's almost like he's possessed by something, and then Red looks at its eyes. Sneasel's eyes looks exactly like the Pokemon, the Shadow Lugia, which he saw in the Foundation, as it tries to make its way towards Red. But just then, Ekans and Koffing, although they have taken a severe beating, are still trying to help their trainer and protect him from whatever this is that has come onto their teammate Sneasel. As Sneasel lunges towards Red, Ekans and Koffing try to hold it off but are swatted away. But they don't give up. They continue to get up and once again attack Sneasel again and again, doing everything in their power to protect their trainer. And this is when they start to glow. This sense of urgency to protect their trainer who had treated them with love and care for so long, coupled with the fact that they had just received a high level training and a lot of supplements, this contributed into their evolution finally into Arbok and Weezing. Although they are still not strong enough to take on the Shadow Sneasel, they are definitely strong enough to hold Sneasel off, just enough for the other 3 Pokemon to prepare their combination move and hit Sneasel all at once. This combination move is just enough to take Sneasel out of his shadow form and finally calm it down. Red falls to his knees, absolutely exhausted and horrified at the events that had transpired, as he looks at his Pokemon, not sure what is happening. And guys, that's where I'll be ending this part. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching guys, and God bless.